This model, that is Agile, has brought up new phase called monitoring. So what is the reason for bringing in the monitoring phase, guys? Any reason? What is the benefit, guys? What is the benefit of doing a monitoring? First of all, doing a monitoring, what is the benefit? Okay, so I'm getting answers. Most of the people say that this we use it to detect errors. That I agree. This is a common understanding because you're not into complete in IT. But whatever your answers, your understanding is correct. But again, when you talk like a software engineer, or when you talk like a fellow who works in the software projects, detecting errors is not the criteria of monitoring. So if I ask a question like this, you want to apply the monitoring and then detect, does it make sense? That means you want the customers to use the product and then detect the errors, or you want the customers to use your software and then detect the errors. That is not right, correct? Do you agree? Hmm. So that is not the intention of monitoring. So whatever your answers are correct, guys. So one of the criteria is more errors only, but that is not the main purpose. So that's an, you can say, one of the metric, but that is not the main. So the purpose of monitoring is to identify a possible detectable occurrence. This is a bigger word in IT industry, guys. One of in ITIL we use this word, or in IT industry, in service delivery we'll use this. The main purpose of the monitoring is to identify a possible or detectable occurrence, right? So that has a potential to break down your service delivery. Do you agree with this now? For example, you guys use cars. I know it. Let's imagine you guys drive the cars, right? And you guys use mobiles. Sorry, bikes. Correct. Now, if I ask a question, you identify something. Something, I would say something is not working properly in your bike, or let's say something not working properly in your car, which when you're driving you identified. So how you handle, guys? You want to wait until it breaks down, or you want to take it to a mechanic and show prior? How do you handle it? How do you handle life example, guys? Even in your health also, guys. Let's say you're not keeping well, so you wait until your health damages, or you just want to go quickly to a doctor and identify the thing. So there is a famous saying also from here. So life saying, what is that? Cure. It's not this. I guess this is the one. So they say that prevention is better than cure. Do you agree? You have to respond. Do you agree, guys? Prevention is better than cure. The same logic here. So in IT industry also, we should not wait until something goes wrong and then do the correction. So if something goes wrong and then you start doing some corrections, technically it's a business loss, right? Customer may get frustrated and he will shift, or he will try to shift to the another product, right? It's a loss of repetition. A lot of consequences will be there, guys. Repetition, right? So a lot of things are there here. So that's the reason IT companies, or you can say Agile, has promoted telling that monitoring is required. So what this monitoring is done. So basically, once you deploy your applications, right, on infrastructure, getting the point. So once you deploy on your infrastructure, right? So that infrastructure, all are electronic components. Do you agree? All are electronic components only. Now you tell me, guys, how do you think that an application can go down? Tell me the breakdown. An application breakdown. What are the chances? This is where you'll have the answer in monitoring. When do you think the application can break down? I can say that server. Okay, let's talk simple words first. Network issue is possible. Do you agree? That's accepted, everybody. The next, if it is not network, lot of users may log in. This is another thing you may not know. So a lot of users are logging into that application and suddenly that application may crash landing. It will crash, guys. We call generally this as load. Because of too much of load, the application will crash because applications will have some settings. So beyond 1000 logged in crash, it will crash. Beyond, let's say 2000. So it depends on how you configure that application. Okay, any other reason? Database server can go down, right? Do you agree? That is also possible. Your hard disk or nothing but the storage can go down. That is also possible. Any other thing? Yeah, RAM utilization or CPU is unable to handle. This can also create a crash landing. This is also possible. Are you getting the answers, guys? What I'm talking? See, network issue can be there. A lot of users, hard disk. So finally, the application itself can go down. The application server, right? Web server, like Tomcat. So you deploy the application, let's say on a Tomcat, right? On a Docker or on a Kubernetes. So may not be the mission, but underlying layer may crash down. So web servers or underlying layers can crash down. Very interestingly, this is also possible. Updates. Do you agree? So operating system updates, guys. This is all you learn only when you work. See, operating system updates. Sometime the server is there. Imagine on that some OS updates are coming. So that OS update sometimes will mess up the application that is working on it. This is also possible. Eighth one. So application dependencies also can mess up the application. Can also possible mess up the application. Right? So yeah, right, Rahul. That is what I'm talking. Some updates can mess up the application. Right? Somebody unknowingly port changed, misconfigured. This can also. So a lot of chances are there that though you set up properly, but after you verify that everything is everything is working perfectly, right? You cannot leave it, right? You have to keep an eye on your infrastructure, what is going on, whether users are able to access or not, whether DB is working or not. Everything you need to keep an eye. That keeping an eye on entire your services, we call it as service delivery only. So any disruption in your service delivery, don't you think it's a business impact? Am I right? Any disruption in your service delivery, whatever you promised to your client. So that is a business loss. To overcome all these headaches, so a concept has emerged called monitoring. So we keep an eye. So we have a lot of tools in the market which keep an eye on the application, which will keep an eye on the storage, which will keep an eye on the OS updates, which will keep an eye on the network fluctuations. So they keep on sending the information that, okay, so and so is going on. So please take the action. For example, guys, normal life also. Let's say at your home, imagine an example, tube light is there. So before it is going to die, don't you get some signals? Do you agree? It will start fluctuating, correct? Before the tube light is going to die, right? You'll observe that at least 1 week or 2 weeks prior, it starts fluctuating more. So that's an indication that it is trying to give an indication that you have to replace a tube light, correct? So likewise also application, when you deploy your software services or application on your infrastructure, so you need to keep an eye and make a note of or whatever the information that is coming from the monitoring services. You need to understand them and take proactive actions. So in simple words, monitoring is a proactive action. That's a criteria. It's a proactive actions. We are keeping an eye. If anything that is identified that can be a potential to break down your services, we take immediate action. So if you take immediate action, what happens is you're able to you're able to minimize the damage, or you can say you're able to cut down the downtime. Do you agree? You can minimize the downtime, guys. Definitely. If you're proactive enough and something is funny is happening, you take immediate action, then that means technically you avoided a downtime. Got it now? So that is the agenda of monitoring. Now, when you do a comparative study here in Agile, they said that the monitoring services should be applied only in the higher environment. That is what they recommended. You got it? So that is what they recommended, guys. They said that, okay, monitoring should be applied only in the higher. They ignored, they never gave an advice to apply on lower environment. Higher means we are talking about the staging servers or UAT servers or production servers or DR servers. So that is what they recommended. They never gave suggestion for applying the monitoring technique on lower environments. So Patrick, what they done is he accepted the view of Agile, saying that or higher environment should be given monitoring. He also added saying that we should also apply the monitoring techniques on lower environments in DevOps. We also added. So in DevOps, what is happening is we club both. So we'll apply the monitoring technique also in the higher environment. We also apply the monitoring technique also in the lower environment. Can you tell me the reason why Patrick felt that in the lower environment also need monitoring services? Any reason for this? Which was missing in the Agile? There is a business reason, guys. So there is some interesting fact here. So that has been observed by the Patrick, and he considered also applying the monitoring technique also on the lower environment. So the reason is, we'll talk reverse. Okay, I want you guys to take down these points first of all. Please take down these points quickly. So is it done, Sheikh, Sanjeev, Sanjay, Samir, Rohini, Rangarao, Rahul, Prithviraj, Bhagat, Pavan, Shankar, P. Shankar? Okay, good. So I'll give you the reason. So let's see how the reason looks like. So let's take a use case that, let's imagine you're a software company, right? You guys are producing some software, right? So when you're producing the software, technically once, let's say, a version of the product has been developed, some version of the software has been developed, we basically put it on lower environments. What are those? Dev, test, QA, and performance, right? So these are the environments, or these are the servers where we'll put. So let's imagine that we did not apply monitoring on this. So what happens when you do not apply? Suddenly QA server may go down. Okay. And nobody monitored. We did not apply monitoring at all. So it went down. So after it goes down, right, the team will start working on it, and it will bring up the server maybe in a 1 day, or maybe in a 2 days, or maybe in a 3 days. But in some time, definitely in some time only, some time factor is there. So between the time factor, can I say that my QA team is sitting idle. Do you agree? That is what is happening. That is a fact actually. Because in the project estimates or their calculations or of their agenda, what they do is they'll assume that lower environment everything is fine, and accordingly they'll promise that okay, tomorrow or day after tomorrow I'm going to push that software into the production, or maybe next week into the production. But you need to understand that before going to the production, it has to be tested on lower environment. So if the lower environment is down, you did not focus on its monitoring stuff, whether they are working or not, and you'll not be able to deliver the product in time into the production. Am I right, guys? So that was one thing which was happening in agile oriented projects. So in a DevOps, what happened is Patrick has suggested that I agree that we need to apply in higher, but also he said that we have to agree that we also need to apply in lower so that we don't compromise on things at lower environment and everything has per the plan. So after applying monitoring techniques in lower environment also, so positive opinion has been created among companies saying that they are able to produce their things as per the plan. This is one of the improvement happened. Clear? Because when they plan it, they'll assume that in lower environment they'll spend some time and test this and then move that product into the or software into the higher environment. But if the things are not working as per plan, something funny things are happening in lower, then they not be able to reach out their objectives, guys. Clear? Have you understood the point, guys? What I'm trying to tell you? Surya Narayana, Nayak, Nagreddy, confirm. Okay, you need to catch the point here. Agenda you need to catch. Logic. That simple logic will help you to understand the concept. So if lower environment is kept an eye, same like higher. If anything is malfunction or detectable occurrence, if you see in lower, then immediately they will take the action. So because in today's world, everything they want the fast. Things have to run super fast. So that's most important here. Good. So this is all about your little comparison at the agile and the DevOps guys. Now I want you to take down a table. Okay, then we'll move on to the DevOps stuff. So normally lower environment, they don't bother about load testing. So this very frequently happens. Lower environment, they care whether they don't care how much load is required. They see guys, this is what happens in my project also. They develop some code wantedly. They'll wantedly create some sessions and they check how whether it is working or not. So that load may be overload, whatever they are testing, that becomes overload and QA server will crash. This is a regular thing happens in our project. That QA server will crash or either the application will crash. Then they will understand, okay, these many sessions we are not supposed to use. Or they'll try to make a better code then. They'll come up with a better code. Got it? Which can take more load. So this is one example. So you guys please take down this. Okay, so please take down this table, guys. So this is one difference. Then we'll completely move to the DevOps now. Okay. So this is an observation, or you can say this is the fundamental difference when you see an agile oriented projects and DevOps oriented projects. So let's see the time factor. So normally in agile, we can finish off the projects in 6 months to 1 year, right? So when it comes to the DevOps, they finish up the projects in 2 months to the 4 months, guys. So they finish up the projects in 2 months to the 4 months. So that is what happens. Now, when it coming to the process, so DevOps, this agile believes in manual and they moved on to the automation. But in the DevOps, we see that automation to the AI. Team size, very interesting. So here in the agile, they believed in the concept of two teams. And from last 30 to 40 years, there has been no trouble at all in the two teams concept implementation till the agile came. In agile, because of iteration process, there has been a continuous stress on the team, that because in iteration to an iteration. So let's say if you guys are, so this one point you need to understand very clearly. Okay. So this, please make a note how this conflict stream, why they shifted from two teams concept to the one team. So let's see that point. So in a iteration process, what is happening is, right? Let's say the first iteration, they will start the things and finish it off, and they will hand over. And in the production server, we'll see some part of application starts visibility. Okay, they'll start from right from plan, design, code, test, release, maintenance, right? So we deployed. So in the by the time first iteration is finished, right, second iteration is coming. Again, they will. Now here the point of agenda is, the people who work in this department still here, they are classified as developers, and the people who handle the activities post this layer, we call as an operations. And now the interesting fact is, the developers criteria is their objective is to develop the code, right, or to develop the features of the software. They develop it. That is their criteria. But once the code moves on to the production server, the objectives of the operations team is to maintain the stability. Do you agree? So if any issues are coming out of the production, it is a ops team which is going to fix, guys. Let's imagine a use case here. Just I'll take a use case, right? So they said plan everything, they fine. On the release day, they said that it is working 100% in the release testing. But when the product finally went on to the production server, getting the point, only 95% of the product is not working. That means how much is the error rate here? Or what is the flaw rate? What is the flaw rate, guys, here? So in a release management cycle, we came to know that everything is working as per expectation, everything is tested. Okay, finally the management gave approval. Okay, push it on production server. We pushed it. Then flaw rate seems to be 5%. That means 5% of the customers are not happy. Now the question comes is, who should fix this, guys? Tell me. You tell me who should fix this. This is where the problem started in iteration process. That is the reason in the DevOps, they shifted the logic. Okay, no, we don't want any headaches here. That's how they shifted the logic. So let's see what is that headache. You have to tell me the point. Who should fix that 5%? 5% of things are not working. Do you think you want the customer to call back the developer? This is what you need to know, guys. Tell me quickly. So let's say you have a customer, something is not working. For whom he will call, guys? Do you think he will call to a developer or will he call to the ops team? That is where you need to know. The actually end user will call the ops team only. Very, very important point. Those are not aware of software industry working, please write this in your notes. Once we push the production or once we push the software into the production, any issues coming out of the production server, if end user is facing some problem, definitely he will call to the ops team only. Don't expect that he will be calling to the development team and asking the developer, please help. No. They will call to the ops team. So in the ops team, one of the team part of it is your BPO. That is the reason in Agile, we saw a lot of BPO industry has grown. Agile gave the birth to the BPO industry, guys. And DevOps is killing the BPO. Did you observe this? So this is what happened. So let me confirm. So this is an observation, guys. I want you to do some little homework on this, what I'm telling you. Agile has made the BPO industry to grow like this, right from, let's say, 0 to 100. Okay. DevOps is doing the reverse engineering. So BPO industry is going down. Did you observe this? The people from last 5 to 6 years, are you finding a lot of jobs in BPO? Once upon a time, BPO was a crazy industry. But even in the BPO, we see that less jobs now. That logic is there here only. So Agile has given growth for something called L1. See L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, L6. These are the levels of escalation in Agile. In DevOps, it is L1, L2, L3, and L4. Escalation is different here. So let's take an example case here. Let's say what I'm talking is 5%. Imagine out of this 5%, right? L1 is usually refers to your BPO fellows, L1 and L2. L3 and L4 people refer to the ops team, core team here. Okay, technical guys from operations team. And L5 and L6 refer to your development team. So when the issue is not resolved at L1 and L2, it goes to this layer. Let's say I will call this as first layer, second layer, and third layer. So when the issue is not resolved at the first layer, then it moves to the second layer. If the issue is not resolved at the second layer, then the issue moves to the third layer. Now, interesting, very, very important point is when the issue is moving from second layer to the third layer in the agile, here I'm talking from here to the here, they do something called RCA. How many of you people know what is an RCA? When the issue is not resolved at L3 and L4 level, before submitting that, moving that ticket out to the L5 and L6, L5 means developer is required there, right? So there are some issues which you can fix because of client side committee. See guys, the issues will be very crazy. So client may be calling that, telling that something is not working. The cause can be like this. So generally BPO will fix the issues which are client side problems. So do you agree? Client side guys. So client side means maybe his computer is not good, or he may be trying that software differently. We told him, okay, please use that from Chrome, and he's trying to use it from where? Mozilla. So we told him that please use it on Windows 8 and Windows 10, and he's trying to use it on Windows 7. So that is where BPO industry, I mean to say, most of first line technical support guys will work on, mostly client side. If everything is fine and still the issue is not resolved, that is where the teams will look in. So generally L3 and L4, we look our side. Okay, is there any trouble on the our production server or anything configurations we are missing? They'll do the necessary actions. Or you can say they will say take some corrective actions here. Got it? And even see guys, super interesting is no client side problem, no server side problem. Correct? Now under that circumstances, what could be the issue, guys? What is the ultimate left out there? That's a code. You got the point now, everybody here? When it is not a client side problem, and when it is not the server side problem, then what is left out? It's a code. Now, do you think the developer will accept a sale telling you that, okay, please work on this code? Do you think they will work? So this is what is happening, guys. The concern is, so when the issue is identified with the code side, right? When the ops team guy approaches to the developer, they won't take the ticket at all into their bin. This is what is happening in the agile actually. This is what is happening in the ground level, guys. They don't take their ticket. You know, they'll tell you the story telling you that Okay, already code is passed in development. Already code is tested. Already the code is release cycle. Why do you think again it is a code problem now? This is the answer they would have. You got it now, guys? Developer will definitely will tell you that okay, already we have tested in the development. Already testing team has done it, verified it that it is working, and already in the release cycle also it is proven. Then only we deployed on the production. So that is the reason we do the RCA. So RCA is nothing but root cause analysis. Here we have to pakka the technician who is working on the task. He will conduct the analysis on root cause of the issue. That is the reason it is called root cause analysis. So that root cause analysis should be pointing, or the analysis should be will be in such a way that they will identify that that's a code problem. That evidence they have to show. Something like CBI kind of inquiry a technician will do. Kind of. I'm not saying we do CBI kind of inquiry, but the point is they have to prove that it's a code. So no problem client, no problem with our server, or no problem with the configurations. And we identify that, okay, this is where the code has some trouble. So that root cause analysis should conclude saying that code is the issue, right? To get this done, and you want get this to be rectified by a developer, how much time do you think it takes, guys? Do you think it will happen overnight? Frankly, this is the reason the Patrick has removed that this escalation levels and everything clubbed the team. He doesn't want two teams at all now. So definitely this will not happen on overnight, guys. Even if you take it for severity also, it will not happen overnight. So normal, the data says from couple of years that on an average, it will take from 1 to 2 weeks of time. If it is a very critical bug, then they will try to fix in 4 to 5 days. That's okay. That's super important. Superficial important, then 3 to 4 days of time, right? But on an average, the data is telling that they will take 1 to 2 weeks of time to get the approval. So this RC analysis has to be produced by the ops team, and this ops team will have a discussion with the development team and get approved to work on the things. By the time they do all these jungle things, are you expecting that client will keep calm? Tell me, guys. Do you think client will keep calm? No, that is the one of the frustration point here. So client will not come. And who are on the hot seat now? Who is on the hot seat, guys? It's an ops team. It's not the developer team. It's an ops team, because ops team keeps on responding to the calls of the customer or end user, and they have to convince the customer, okay, that we have to wait, or we are working on the issue. So you have to convince. You should not get your client irritated. So that is what is happening. So this one kind of a gochi things are happening here. So when some issues come out, they will not be able to fix in time. They follow the escalation process L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. Then L5 it comes go to the developer. L6 is means architect. L6 means architect, guys, in agile. Level 6 means architect. L5 means a senior developer, right? So that is the things here. Now how it happened? So things are changed here. The things are changed, right? The escalation process has come down. So Patrick observed all these jungle things in agile, and he suggested that in DevOps you should have only 4 escalation levels: L1, L2, L3, and L4. So L1 is your support team, BPO team, right? So BPO team, or primarily technical support team. So earlier we used to maintain in Agile L1 and L2. That's the reason we need to hire a lot of people here. But in DevOps, they said only L1 team is sufficient. So that means hirings have come down. Okay, need has come down. L2, it goes to the ops team. When the issue is not resolved here, the ticket will transfer to the ops team. Okay, server team, I can say. When the issue is not resolved here, directly the ticket gets transferred to the development team. Interestingly, the process is defined in such a way that if the issue is related to UI, the ticket will be transferred to the UI team. And interestingly, DevOps does not believe in RCA concept. Or you got the point, guys? Very, very important. DevOps does not believe in RCA concept. They believe in something called findings. That's it. Findings. What you found here. What you think that this could be a trouble. And that could, you have to document and push the ticket into the team. For example, imagine a use case that error is coming from a UI, right? There is no client side problem. So L1 pushed the ticket into the ops. They said that they looked in and they found nothing trouble with the production server at all. No issue on the production server. So that means they jogged down to the code now. They don't do any RCA. Directly they'll push the ticket into the bin. Bin means, I hope you know it, or into the box of the people who worked on this task. Let's say 3 technicians or the fellow who worked on this ticket earlier, or let's say this code, that guy will come into the picture here. Or you can say the team responsible here. So in a UI, let's say 3 developers are there. So somebody from these 3 fellows should pick up this ticket and fix it. And if they can't fix it, then L4 is your architect team. You understood the escalation process now in DevOps? Don't you think that they have speed up now? Is it slow or a speed, guys? Is it slow like Agile now? It's a speed. Interestingly, no RCA. So RCA itself will take 1 week of time for them. First of all, RCA, create the RCA, something like a CBI investigation, do investigation, produce that data, talk to that guy, convince them, and they'll start working. So these are all jungle things are gone here. Clear? That's the reason DevOps model, even in the issues come out, the things are moving fast. Okay. And one more interesting point here is, please take down this point quickly. These are escalation levels in DevOps actually. We'll go back to the same diagram. Let's take down this pic quickly. So I'll show you the live ticket. Okay. So that I pushed the ticket because we are working in DevOps model. So last Friday, I think, okay, I'll show it live. They pushed 1 ticket into my bin, ops team, because DevOps comes under more into the ops. So I quickly analyzed the stuff and I came to know that that is development stuff. That's it. There's some pipelines were failing for some application and they raised the ticket. So this was one of the pipeline which was failing. So after doing some little investigation, I almost like it took 1 hour to understand what is happening here. So publishing code, why it is it really our pipeline problem or something else? So it is purely testing team problem. So we push it saying that, okay, testing team forgot to write the test code, that publish code stuff they forgot to write in that. So that we pushed back. Okay, that means code. So the person who has written this code started working on this. Right. Again, one more ticket I'll show you. I think this one, bottom one, is it same or different? Okay, this is different, right? Canary service, Canary application. Okay, so let's say, so here our pipeline was failing. We create, hold on, I think these are different. I need to pick the top one. So pipeline was failing. See, build run script. So basically, any scripts comes under DevOps. So we saw auditing and we came to know that, okay, script was failing. We spent some time, little spent on time, and we identified this. Say exploit code coverage message. This was missing. So developer failed to write some dependency. So we told him that, okay, this was missing in your code. Please fix it. That's it. He has to fix it. Getting the point? So what I'm trying to tell you is, here the agenda is the things are moving fast. Okay, so when the ticket is moving from one department to another department, so the things are speed up, and we are not following it. What you can say, the rule book here. So we don't follow any rule book. The end of the day, we want the things to be fixed ASAP, as soon as possible. That is what DevOps believes in. Okay, now let's move on to the another point of interesting here. So I'll take the same example. So let's say first iteration, let's say second iteration, they done something and they done something 5% flaw, and they came up here. So 97% is working. In this 5%, they fixed 2% of the ticket and 3% of the tickets are still pending. So I'll say this is pending, this is fixed. Now, what is the flaw rate here? Tell me guys, what is the flaw rate here? 3%. Plus backlog you need to consider now. This backlog, this one pending, I think 3%. How much it is now net? 6% of the tickets in this bin. Again, in this 6% out of, again, we'll tell that, okay, let's say 2% is fixed and 4% is left out. Again, third iteration, right? So now some 95% is working. That means 5% flaw again. Again, backlog with 4%. How much it is? 9%. Now you tell me guys, who is under constant pressure here? If I ask this question, who is under the pressure in the system, in the system of iteration, which team is under the pressure? It's a ops team. That is correct. It's a ops team. They are under pressure, right? So they'll feel, this is a facts case. What I'm talking is a facts. Every iteration, ops team will feel like a cyclone only. I'm telling you the fact. Even sometimes we do feel the same thing in DevOps also. Some new changes are coming. Okay, so technically some new changes are coming means something is not working. It's a headache for us because we need to work and fix it, right? So every iteration, ops team will feel like a cyclone because we fixed it here, right? We made the environment stable. And again, some cyclone is coming in the third iteration. Again, it travels. Something is not. Again, we fix it. Again, the same story. So there is a constant team on the operations team, right? In the agile, or according to the observation, it is expected that 3 to 4% you will have failures in the every iteration. That is an expected. Don't think that every iteration will be positive. 100% is not possible. I told you also. In every iteration, whatever the hard work they've done, everything may not perfectly in the production after it goes live. So you should always expect 3 to 4% things will not work. Okay, we should be ready to fix it. So that means this is in control. The team will be happy to handle this. 4 to 6%, they can handle this. They'll say it's okay. Right? It's okay. We can manage it. 6 to 8%. This is where BP will come. High pressure. High pressure. The pressure mounts building if it is crossing 6% of your bin is sitting with lot of bug tickets. Lot of bug tickets, lot of error tickets. Right? Again, new iteration. Again, we need to fix this. So pressure builds on the team here, ops team. Right? And interestingly, sometimes if the issue is mostly related to the code, then they have to do RCA, then they have to talk to the team, then they have to convince them, finally get it fixed. These are all tedious kind of thing, or you can say this very lengthy channel, right? Which is a stress channel. You can say a stress creating channel, and that is where the ops teams are getting frustrated. This is what happened in lot of agile oriented projects. This happened. The ops teams are getting frustrated, right? And there are some incidences in some use cases where the ops team will be reluctant to handle some iterations. They'll get fed up. They'll get what you can say like a wife and husband relationship, guys. Like a wife and husband, they'll get fed up on each other. So relationship will be happy when they work like wife plus husband, correct? Both together, everything is good. But when wife minus husband, this is where the trouble starts. So that is exactly same relation. So your development team, along with ops team, everything is happy. But what is happening is development team minus ops team is happening because of frustration factors upon the ops, right? So ops team starts cooking the stories now. Okay, when new iteration is coming, they'll say that okay, we don't have enough staff to this activity. We can't do this iteration or we can't do this deployment. Let's postpone to the next week or next month, or let's say after a few iterations. Or they'll cook story telling that okay, we don't have enough servers. They'll cook story telling you that okay, right? So like technology is not sufficient or it may not take a load. So a lot of things are happening. So that is the reason there is a famous statement here that you will see on the internet circling, telling you that DevOps has come into the market to close the gap between agile development process and agile operations team. Do you agree with this? Have you searched this on the internet, guys? By tomorrow, let's say after you're done with your class, you search on the internet. Some 10 years ago web pages, you will find it. They keep on writing about the DevOps, telling that okay, DevOps is a process or some method which is helping us to close the gap between, or gap, or people also call this as a conflict. You got it now? They call this also as a conflict. That conflict came here, which did not come up in earlier models. And this conflict is because of its iteration process only. Iteration process has created some kind of a conflict between the development team and ops team, right? So development team and ops team. And Patrick observed this, saying that okay, conflicts are coming. What to do now? And he pointed out few things. He said that development team has a different objective of features development only. They don't focus on stability. Ops team only focus on stability. They don't focus on features. Now this is where he questioned. So he questioned that first of all, in a software project, he questioned why you should have too many separations. Why two teams concept here? Why? Think like a cricket also, guys. In the cricket team, if a bowlers behave differently and your batsmen behave differently, are you expecting the team to win the that match? This is one use case where you can understand similarly here, right? In a simple cricket match, so it's a teamwork, right? Sportive work. So if the bowlers and let's say batsmen are working together, or you can say when they are fulfilling their responsibilities, everything works fine. So that is what is happening. So he questioned here objectives. So objectives are different. And they are getting in conflict. So that is where he started in his trials experimenting one team only. So that's the reason in Patrick in the DevOps he says that we don't believe in this two teams concept. We only believe in one team. So entire team is one and only one objective now. So that objective is nothing but faster development with stability. So each one has this responsibility. Every team member in the DevOps project will work under a principle of faster development with stability. And the escalation process also came down. So instead of having very lengthy channel, trying to do a lot of investigations are not required. So end of the day, they say that fixing the issue is a criteria. Fixing the issue is a criteria, and that should be your focus area. So don't go by rule book saying that okay, we do only like this, right? So we have to go beyond our levels and focus only on fixing the issue. And here the point is, since we are one team, everybody are responsible for that concern. And I'll tell you one more use case where you'll find in a lot of companies. Okay, very silly logic. This looks really silly. You'll find some issue coming out. Okay, and this issue will look in such a way that if you ask the development team, please pick up this issue, they'll say that no, this is not our issue. They'll say it's no. Some issue comes up and we'll ask the ops team, please pick up some issue, and they'll say that oh, this is not our issue. Then who is going to take care? You got the question, guys? You understood, Divya, what I'm talking? Kirti, Manasa, Maunika, Mayuri, Mani, Kumar, Kirti. This happening. This is happening. When some issue comes up, he asks the upstream, they say, no, this is not our stuff at all. And you approach the development team, they'll say, okay, this is not our stuff at all. Then end of the day, who is going to fix this? Who is going to take the charge? Or who is going to take the responsibility here? So that is where all these things have been observed in the agile. And that is where they came up saying that we should follow one team. So if issue comes up, we identify the scope. See, right, Nayak, it is correct. So that is what I told you. So in a DevOps, there is no focus on the RCA. That is for sure. Root cause analysis, which was a biggest concept in Agile, or we say that was a more, we can say, an highlighting concept. In the DevOps, it is the least here. They say findings. If you find a reason that, okay, this is a development, get the development team into the line and get the trouble fixed. That's it. If you find that it is a server issue, get the server team on the call and get the problem fixed. That's it. If you find the issues with find, you understand the meaning of find, guys? We're not trying to do too much RC or too much investigation or trying to prove ourselves there. So if you find a reason, that a simple reason that, okay, this needs an assistance from DBA, right? We get the call on with the DBA and get the problem fixed because we are all one team, right? So in a one team concept, what happens is they cannot say that this is not mine or this is not yours. Clear? You understood the ideology, guys? Confirm? In one team concept, there is no scope for finger pointing each other because we all work for single reason, single agenda, and single project. So that is where Patrick has invented concept of one team. In the one team, it's all about one objective, work as a team, and one goal. Any issues come out, just find the reason who should take it, right? So even guys, even I do the same thing. If I see some issue coming out, if I feel that, right, that feel or feel, you can say that finding. If you find any reason that, okay, DB request need to look in, I'll immediately call the DB guy and ask him to please look into this. We'll stay on the call, we get the DB guy, and we look in. That is DevOps. If it is not DevOps, if I am agile, then I have to find the reason, findings, document it, RCA, approval, approach DBA. That is a lengthy process. Correct? That is gone now. Lengthy process is gone. I hope you understood this logic of one team concept now. Okay, now let's take a few more points and end up. Okay, two teams concept is gone. Responsibility also come in. Earlier concerns were there. As I told you, okay, some issue comes out, they will not pick it up. So entire team is responsible now. New phases here, release and monitoring. And in the DevOps, there's a modification in the planning, build process, operations, and feedback. That we'll see tomorrow. Cost is definitely 100 rupees here. Imagine 100 bucks it costs. 100 rupees if you spend in Agile. The cost is trading around 78 rupees. That is also very important point, guys. A project, if you operate in Agile, let's say you have to spend 100 crore, and the same project you're trying to operate in DevOps, it will cost you 78 crore. So what is the benefit for the company there? Who is benefiting, guys? Is it you or a company? Tell me. Out of this, I'll tell you one funny statement also. It's a company only. So I'll tell you one famous statement, so don't get offended. So if you love a company, right, company will not love you. Don't think that company will always spend so much on love on you. What is that factor? So that's the reason there is a famous sentence saying that, okay, you should love your career, not the company. Do you agree, guys? And not company. When, see, I don't know how many of you got this logic. If you understand this logic well, you'll grow in career. So if you keep on developing love on your company, and someday will day will come where company will stop loving you. Correct? So love your career. Don't believe in companies. So companies always work for their projects or work for their profit only. That's a business reason. So when they don't have the projects with you, they stop loving you and they'll show the pink letter to you, ask you to leave. That's it. So that's their business. But your business is to get your career done. Got it now? Okay. So fine. Now let's move on. Right. Year of so these are all funny points. Same. 1996, 2012 popular. Inventor says 12 people. Here Patrick Debios. And we'll see the Andrew Schaffer tomorrow. So Andrew Schaffer is another person who was doing marketing for DevOps actually. Patrick developed the model. Schaffer was roaming around the world and started conducting conferences on DevOps strategies. And I would say he's like a marketing guy for the DevOps. So he started roaming around wherever IT conferences happen. This guy will land up and he will start talking about DevOps principles. So that is what Andrew Schaffer used to do. This is mission is they focus only on the product, what product they are developing. But in the DevOps, they say we have to create the value for the product. Value for the product. And they believe in licensed product. They believe in open source. Cloud integration, Agile will also cooperate, but DevOps is the best one. And phases, there are 7 phases here, and we have 9 phases. One more interesting point. In Agile era, Windows, Linux, and Mac all had equal weightage. They used to grow a lot in the market. Now, see in the DevOps, this is reverse engineering going on. In DevOps, Mac has lost the relevance. Mac operating systems are losing their market, and Linux operating systems are gaining their markets, and Windows is somewhat stagnant. I'm telling you, after 40 or 50 years from now, you'll see that Windows will also look like a Mac only. They'll start losing their relevances. So models are also creating some kind of events here. They are doing their work. In Agile, BPO and KPO increased a lot. Its presence has boomed like a boom. But in DevOps strategies, the presence is going down because escalations points have come down. Okay. And the average project size in the Agile seems to be around 45 people are required. 45 people, that's an average size in Agile based projects case. You require minimum of 45 people. That's an average size is to consider. But when it comes to the DevOps, around with 25 to 30 people, you can complete your project. The average size has come down. Now, why do you think the size has come down here? This last point. What is the reason? That is where entire story revolves in DevOps. Automation. That's the point. Automation is the reason. Automation means we are trying to do a lot of activities in automation style. Correct. So human interference is coming down. Use case of hiring the people and doing their work. Right. You can get the same work done by implementing a tools. We will create a tools which will do that activities for us instead of human beings. Correct. Now, one question I would ask: is it really possible to 100% automation? Not possible. Clear? Still, you will have the jobs. But the point is, jobs will come down. Some department, or you can say some segments, will lose their relevance. Some segments will raise their significance. For example, in Agile, we did not have build phase, so that means no jobs in build phase much. But in DevOps, there is a separate phase where build, there is an automation. So we have some jobs in build phase here, right? So that is what at some place you lose the jobs or some cutting down is happening. At some place again, creation of jobs is happening. Example, another example. In Agile, you don't have much jobs on cloud factors, okay? Cloud stuff, because they don't believe initially. Later they believed. But in DevOps, a lot of things are happening on the cloud. So you have good openings on cloud, right? These are all gimmicks of the market and of the SDLCs are working. Okay. So that's all for the day. And tomorrow we'll start our DevOps stuff. So with this, we understood how the Agile is doing good, what are the concerns, how it is working. Now we'll see that tomorrow DevOps definition, DevOps core ideologies, DevOps principles, right? Foundations, phases, and then we'll try to download this software. So please get your laptops ready by, what is today, Monday? Okay, today Monday now. In Wednesday's class, we'll be doing our practical. From Wednesday's class, everything will be practical. Tomorrow we'll be downloading the software, guys. Am I clear? Any questions from your side? And I request everybody, before you log off, with effective from tomorrow, please log in with your first name and last name. I keep reminding everybody tomorrow, every day. So when you log in into the class, please log in with your first name and last name, because I'll be taking attendance as well. So please log in with your first name and last name. Got it now? Any questions? Yeah, Gopal T. Tomorrow I'll get you the links, man, because we'll start framing in the notes from tomorrow. So in the notes, you'll have everything. So not to be worried. Okay. Yeah, Sanjay, please talk to me.
Actually, you told the support will be L1 to L4 after the Agile DevOps. If the project is gone live and after some times issue will reported, then how to manage it?
Issues will be reported. That's common. So
no,
issues
after the warranty supports, issue will report. Then who will take the action?
Issue after the warranty support, then they will ask you to pay. This is one of the common trend that is happening today. Is once the support ends, right?
Right.
So companies, what they are doing is they provide some community documents or technical documents, ask you to go through it, right?
No,
so that is one way. The second way is, yeah, let me complete. So second way is, if your scope is out of the things, let's say you're out of warranty, then they definitely ask you to pay for it, for the support.
Actually, I'm working in one of the company, and there is a one model like if any issue will reported after the warranty support, there is a one functional team is available on there.
It depends. It depends, right?
If
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, if there is a functional, they will solve it. If the technical, it will come on the L1 team.
It depends how your companies are operating.
Yeah.
Because operation techniques will always vary from company to company.
Okay, means
it is not same at all.
Okay.
It never will be same between a company and company. The same thing I'm telling you, no?
Yeah.
So you are saying that a function team will help, right? But a client, do you think he has a right to demand there?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because he's out of warranty. On your side, you're trying to help, correct?
Yeah. Actually, there is a one common teams which cater all the issues.
Right. So in that case, in your case, you guys are doing best of the support. We call that as best of the support, correct?
Right.
Best of the support, right? So some companies, how they do is, the moment they complete their warranty period, instead of giving direct support, they'll ask you, send you some kind of links or web links, or they'll ask you to go through it. If they're not, right, they'll try to give the best of support. That is one option. Some companies, what they do is they charge also. Some companies altogether, they say that, okay, we no longer support, okay, we can't do anything. So why can't you go for upgrade?
Okay, it means only DevOps is applicable only the phase of
software protection,
development and
software protection process.
Okay.
So DevOps is a software protection process.
Okay. After the after it will come on the warranty support, it will not handled by the DevOps. It's a different model.
Once they see the different models are followed. So after the product is going down, how you want to handle your sales, it depends on the approach how you guys are following. Because again, the management science is there, where they'll hand different concepts are there. So you want to give the lifetime support, or you want to give the best of the support, or you want to give a simple KPO support, or you want to provide email support, only chat support. So that's all depends upon the how you want to handle your sales, how critical the business is for you.
Okay. Actually, it's a banking team, and we are supported near about 65 countries. Actually, I work for production supports near about 4 years and
nice.
10 years for developments. So I have the overall experience for development and production support also, L1 production support.
Yeah.
So we have the one RTB teams, means RCL, like you told me, the RCL.
Correct. RCL they took, right.
The RTB team, we have the different team, and CTB, it's different team. CTB is like handle the projects.
Right. Right, you're right. So every project is unique. Every project have their own business style. Everything will be unique. But
Right.
here the point of understanding is how the approach is done by DevOps.
Mhm.
Right. So let's say you guys produce a DevOps model. I'll tell you one example. Let's say imagine you worked for a project where you released a software. Okay. And
Right.
that software is open source.
Mhm.
Now, if that is an open source, don't you think you become lifetime liable for their support?
Right.
That is a game there. Now, how the companies are earning in that case? If you give everything free, how you earn?
Yeah.
Getting the point. If you give everything
Yeah,
free, then how you earn?
it is applicable only for the like Wipro and Infosys. They are taking the contract, but the
So
like
there,
Barclay,
I'll tell you how they
Barclay,
earn. Right. I'll tell
Bar-
you one example.
uh,
How they handle is they'll give you the support, but they'll give you a condition. Okay, up to this level, support is free. Beyond this scope of level, they'll ask you to pay.
right.
That is what is happening.
Yeah, that's correct. But like different team, like Barclay, uh,
Ah,
Credit Suisse, HSBC, they have the 24/7 supports for the
mm,
all the kinds of
yeah.
issues.
Your question is somewhat leading to a concept called ITIL. You know this?
Right? Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, guys. This is everybody. Company want to reduce the cost of the support. What they'll do is they'll start creating something called KPO department, KPO in within them, where they'll produce some technical documents, right? And if you get any issue, right? So as a customer, you need to navigate to those documents and you should fix it yourself. What is happening now? If the customer is little techy, he will go to the documents, right? If the documents are clean, very clean, and customer if he is able to understand properly, then he will fix it. Do you agree?
Right.
Instead of calling you, he will fix it himself. He will be happy instead of waiting line. Some companies, what they do is the documents they'll write it up to some certain extent only. So let's say some extent. And if they say that if the issue is not fixed, please drop an email or call us. These are all things how you want to manage as a company. You'll find some crazy products also. Okay, this is also interesting. I too face this headaches also. In my project, lot of 60 technologies will use. So we'll come across some place where we don't have an answers also with us. We don't have an answer for an error, right? We start searching on Googling and we don't find anything. We go to the vendor website and see in the vendor website nicely it will be telling you that okay, for this error message, please call us or email us.
Mhm.
Hmm. So some see for example, I'll just open you the, let's say, Docker. So Docker technical documents are super clear. Example, just an example, guys. Okay. Technical documents are super clear. If you're finding any trouble here, say guides, references, right? Everything manuals you can download. But again, there are some tools like Puppet. Okay. So they don't believe in giving everything you free. They want you to call them. They want us to call them. So what happens at some point you'll feel double headache, see, free trial, request a demo, right? So resources. You see the resources, guys. Blog customer service event, papers, product demos, right? Services and training, community. Any documents are there here? I don't see any documents here much. So that's the reason. So the world is changing, guys. Even today, what is happening is any product without document, it's not working. Do you agree?
Right.
It's not working. This is an evolution of service industry. So you produce a product, you should have very clear documentation, like user friendly with your customers, so that they can fix it. If they can't fix it, some critical, then they will approach us. That's okay. Got it now, Sanjay?
Yeah, got it. Yeah, that's actually clear for the where to come the DevOps models.
Hmm.
And where it is not coming. That's the
Yep.
differentiate. Yeah.
It's more into the production line only, into
Right.
your software development.
Yeah.
Okay, nice talking to you, Sanjay. Okay, so that's all for the day, guys. We'll stop it here. Okay. And so today's class, the important stuff is difference between an agile and DevOps. That's it. You investigate on this. I want you to people just spend some time before next class tomorrow. And your question is difference between the DevOps and agile. At least please collect the 10 points and by heart them. And those who are interested, please make a Word document and send it to me. That's your homework. Send it to me. I'll have a review. I'll check it. So that's a learning for you and also preparation for you. So from today's class, entire story revolves around what's the difference between DevOps and Agile. Comparison, you should be clear. So don't try to come up with the points what I told in the class. See, that the Word document, this is there already, some points are there. That's okay. But I want you guys to Google and see if you find any other new points here. New points, whatever you see. Try to catch it from internet and send those points to me. Okay, guys. Chalo. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.